Hello all, welcome back to my channel. So today we'll be discussing about the new transformation that is called as a router transformation. In the previous video, we have discussed about filter, how to create a mapping user of filter transformation and the interview questions regarding the filter. In this video, we are going to cover the router transformation. So I have jotted down few points which we are going to discuss in this session. So what is router transformation, how it is different from a filter? So we'll see the differences between these two. Okay. We'll create a sample mapping also, and we load the data into files. Okay. We'll refer the same employee table. Then we'll create one workflow as well. We'll validate the data in the files and we'll cover the interview questions and answers. Okay. So table or file, you can say. Fine. So what is a router transformation basically? As we have seen in a filter transformation like this one. In filter transformation, we were able to give a condition, right? So similar in router also, we can give a condition, but a router is something, even if your condition does not match, so it will still be able to load to a target. So it depends on us whether we connect that target or not. That default target is called as default group. So we'll go through each and everything so you'll understand. Okay. So the difference between router and filter is, like in filter we can have one condition, but in a router we can have multiple conditions. Like for example, we want to segregate data according to department wise. Okay. For example, let's go to our table. So for example, we want one file which only have data of department ID 90. Another file will be having department ID 60's data and another file having 100. So we can create as many groups as we want in a router transformation. Okay. So multiple groups we can create for department IDs equal to 100, department equal to 90, etc. Okay. But apart from this, Informatica creates one default group as well. Default group. So what does this mean? So default group means if any of the conditions is not matching. Apart from this, if there are some other departments, like in our table, in employees table, we have, apart from the department ID 100 and 90, we have other departments as well, like 60 is there, 50 is there. Okay. So for them, it will create another flow and it will load into the file or table based on our requirement. Right. This is the major difference between filter and router. Okay. Filter blocks other rows which are not matching with the condition, but in router we have a default group, so it won't block any rows. So both of them are the active transformations. So what do you mean by the active transformation? Active transformation. This is the basic question they'll ask in the interviews, initial interviews. I mean, if you have some less experience, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years maybe. So they'll ask this kind of questions. What is an active transformation? What is in passive? So we'll have separate session, but just for the time being, understand filter is an active because it is a blocking transformation. For example, we are passing 100 rows to the filter transformation, 100 rows as an input, but we are getting only 50 rows as a output. So there is change in number of rows, right? From the source to target. This is our source and this is our target. So we can say this is one of the property of active transformation. If it changes number of rows between source transformation to target transformation, we can call it as a active transformation, right? So filter and router, both are active transformations. Only difference is it has a default group as well, and we can specify multiple groups. Okay. So as usual, let's create a sample mapping because here we are learning some hands-on only. So go to mappings, create mapping. You can visit my first video on how to create a mapping from basic, but still we'll be able to learn here itself. Let us give some name, maybe router, load, amp or EMP. Click on OK. Now bring our source, which is employees. Fine. Till here it's good. Go to the transformation, click on create, select the router transformation, name it as a router RTR underscore DEPT. Give the, since we are segregating data based on the department numbers, so we'll give the name RTR underscore DEPT. Then connect all the ports. Okay. Now we will say, okay, we are going to create multiple targets here. So how we are going to connect? So we'll see that. So when you open this router transformation, you will get a property called as groups. So here the square icon is there with the dotted square. You can click over it. You will see the group name is coming. You can add as many number of groups you want. Okay. For this practice, we will create. So this is how you can delete the unwanted groups. Okay. So for practice, we'll create two groups. Okay. For two departments. So go to ports, select department ID is equal to 100. Validate the expression. Click on OK. In the group 2, you can specify the group condition for another department, say 90. Okay. Because we know in our table, data is coming like this, and Informatica processes data row wise. So if the condition matches for department ID equal to 100 in that row, it will go to the particular target. Click on apply and OK. So here there is a shortcut to create the targets. Fine. How to create that? There are two ways. You can either create three tables in your database. Then using the target transformations, you can bring them here. Otherwise, for the practice purpose, what we'll do, just right click here. There is an option, create and add target. Okay, just click on it. So it is showing some name conflict is there with the target transformation. So let me just check that. Yeah, so since I had already created the target with the same name, so I made one change over here. Instead of RTR underscore DPT ID, I have renamed it RTR underscore DPT 1. Okay. Then I right clicked here and just said create and add target. So I've got three targets here. No need to do anything. It will automatically get created. Okay. Now we have to link the ports. Okay. According to the groups, we have to link the port. So we can just expand here. Okay. This is a group 1. So select, press shift down arrow till here, link the department employee ID port. Okay. Then group 2. So this is the default group which I was talking about. But before that, we have to link group 2. So go to group 2. Link the group 2 as well. Then we have a default group. Okay. Link that as well. If you want to see the structure, just right click and arrange all iconic. So here we have one router and three targets. Go to mappings and validate. Mapping is valid. Save it. Mapping has been saved. So once targets are created, you'll be able to see under the targets folder. Default group, new group one, and new group two, like that. Now, what is the next step? Just go to the workflow manager now. Go to workflows, then create workflow underscore router load amp or EMP. EMP, since I had already created, so EMP TGT something we can say. Okay, then go to the task developer, clear all these existing sessions, go to the task menu, create s underscore router load EMP TGT. So it will ask which mapping we have to select. Okay, so we can say I'm router load EMP. Click OK, hit done. Now bring this session here, link the session as usual. Just arrange it horizontal so that we can view comfortably. Then open the session, go to mappings tab. Now here, since we created these targets using create and add target, so I'll be using the flat file as a target over here. Okay. Okay, so before that, just to make sure whatever targets we have created, by default, it will take as a Oracle source target connection, but we have to make it as a file. Select flat file, apply. Okay, these properties are common, like delimited. Delimited means it will have some delimiter after each column value. Okay, we'll see once the output file is generated. Bring this target also, open it. Then database type, select as, sorry, flat file, apply OK. Bring the third target, open it. Database type, flat file, hit OK. Save it, Control S. Okay. Refresh mapping. Then open this session. So what we did basically, we have just converted the Oracle target into the flat file. So you will get better understanding how the data looks like when it gets loaded to the file. So output type, now it's showing as a file. So it is asking us for the output file directory. So this is the default path given by Informatica. But since we are working on our Windows machine, so we have to provide a path for them. So I've created one directory over here. Let me delete the old files first. Okay, d:info out. So you will have to provide a path over here. Okay, just copy it because we have to provide the path for other two targets as well. There is one more. So what basically it does, it will generate the output file in this particular directory, particular folder, and the file name will be rtr underscore dpt1 new group 2 dot out. You can change the file name as well. Okay. For the time being, let us keep as it is. Then click on apply. Okay. Save your mapping. Right click and start workflow. Go to the workflow monitor. Workflow is succeeded. So if you see 107 records were read. In default group, 98 records are there. In group 1, 6 records, group 2, 3 records. So let us check whether our data is correct. So we'll do the data validation. Okay, just refresh this one. So new group 1. If you see new group 1, these are all department IDs. 100, 100, 100 are loaded into one table, one file. Okay. On new group 2, we are getting data for department ID 90. Okay. And in the default group, all the remaining records will be there 60, 30, 50. Okay. So this is how we can use the router transformation. I'll show you one more property over here. If you see this output file, there are no column headers. Okay. What if we want to bring the column headers also? Okay, as if client asks, I want the column headers in the file. So there is a property, header options. Currently there is no header selected. You have to select output field names. Same you can do it for other targets, output field names. Click on apply, okay. Save the workflow, then start it. It's running. Data is loaded, workflow succeeded. Go to the target directory, refresh. Let us check the new group 1. Reload it. Okay, so now the headers are also coming. So we'll come to know the last column is our department ID only. Okay, so I hope you understood this router transformation. It is very easy basically to implement, right? So data validation we have done, the records are loaded properly. So coming to the interview questions and answers around the router transformations. So basic question they'll ask, okay, if records are not matching with the groups, where it will go basically. So answer is the default group. Okay. If you are connected to default group, then it will go into the target. Fine. There is one more question being asked. If router is an active transformation or passive transformation. So as per the theory, what we are saying, the number of rows between source and target, if they are varying, okay. So we are saying it is an active transformation. But in this case, if you see department ID equal to 10 going into one target, department ID equal to 90 going into one target, and remaining are going into default. So there is no change actually between source and target, because we're getting as many row passed from the source. So we're getting same number of rows getting into the target. If you count the total count, the count will not vary in this case. Then why router is an active transformation? Okay, this is a tricky question. Router is an active transformation because you can specify the less than or equal to condition as well. So in this case, what will happen? It will satisfy this condition if any department which is having value less than or equal to 100. In our case, so all the records like 60, 30. So whatever records having value less than equal to 100, it will go to the group 1. Okay. In this case, count will increase, right? So that's why it is an active transformation. So this is one of the tricky question they might ask. Once you clear some basic questions, they will move on to these kind of questions. Okay. I hope it is clear. If any doubt, please comment and let me know. Okay. So this is all for router transformation. Thanks for watching my videos, and please subscribe, like, and share among your circle whoever wants to learn Informatica freely with advanced level concepts with interview questions and answers. Thanks. Take care.